Let's draw out this little piggy. I've got an A5 sheet of watercolour paper, which I'm going to put the acrylic paints on. So I'm just freehanding this, but I've worked out that the height of the head is approximately the same height as his legs. So I did a line in the centre of the paper so I can work out halfway up and halfway down from there. Also, the width of the head is approximately the same width as both his ears. So I had to account for that. So I split the paper into 3 going across as well. So I did a rectangle-ish shape for the head, and then I did a smaller rectangle-ish shape for the negative shape in between his front legs there, so that green triangle that we can see. So when it comes to painting, it's no surprise that I'm going to use red and white to make a pink, but that can be pretty vibrant. So I've mixed some burnt umber in with that as well, and adding the brown to the pink really desaturates it and brings that vibrancy right down. So while the paint is still wet, I'm just dropping in some lines, I guess, of the white paint, which mix with the pink. I'm still letting the pink of the skin shine through, but I'm just hovering back and forth between the pink that I've made up, the white and the brown, and just going over the pig, just with those brush strokes showing the fur. I'm trying to do less detail on the body, especially round the back where you can see his tummy. So I'm just blending them in a little bit more, just rubbing them with my paintbrush so you can't really see the brush strokes. We want an illusion of it being more out of focus the further back, because what we want when you look at the pig is to look straight at the face, because that's where all the sharp focus is going to be. That's where we want you to look when you look at the painting. So everything else is going to be just smooth and blended at the back, and then the face is going to be nice and sharp. So now I'm going over with another coat of white over everything. That's going to blend in with the colours that I've put there. You can still see the previous layers shining through, which looks really beautiful. It gives a whole lot of depth. So I've made a darker colour out of just the red and the brown, and I'm going to put that inside the ear and on the snout as well. See, the snout, I'm just going to put that darker colour down first and then rub the white in on top, and it gives that, you can see that darker colour shining through, and it gives a lot nicer feel to it. I'm just outlining his eyes with that dark colour as well. The more layers that you have over the pig as well, the more in depth and bolder it's going to look. And I tend to go a little bit, as I'm getting further, doing more and more layers, I tend to get a little bit messier, and it just makes the animal, the pig in this case, look, gives it a little bit more oomph to it, makes it look a little bit more alive. So then I'm going to use a little black. I'm only going to use a tiny bit of black. So I'm going to put that for the eyes and the nostrils, and just a little bit inside the ear. If my lines are looking a little bit too dark, like I've just done a black line, I'll get some of that pink and just blend it in. Don't forget to put a little white highlight in the eye as well. It's going to do the background as well, so I'm just dropping in some Sap Green and some cadmium yellow. I've put some red in there as well, because when you add the red to the green, that desaturates it. I don't want a vibrant green background. I do want it slightly desaturated and slightly out of focus. So that's what that red does. And to get that more blurry look, I'm just mixing it all together, just rubbing it together on the paper. So you can see a few little brush strokes, so it looks like bushes. And then I want an in-focus bit for the bit that he stood on. So I've just used some sharper lines where he stood. And then I'm going to blend some grass in going up to the background. So you can't see the brush strokes on this bit. That's all just mixed in. And then I'm just sharpening it up again, this bit of grass. Then I'm going to take my white, maybe a bit of very light pink, and then just go all over him, just whooshing him up a little bit, having some of that fur overlapping onto the background. Add a few eyelashes as well, a little bit of shadow under his snout. And there we go.